must take the A train to go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem.
Harlem became the center of entertainment because of the fact that it was the only place in the country that a black man could show his art, that could display his art.
If you miss the A train, you'll find you missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails are thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train. Soon you will be on Sugar Hill in Harlem. You take your baby to Harlem, you're bound to find the hall up on Sugar Hill, where everyone's having a solid ball. You board that A train, and then you ride till you dig this number, 145th Street, where all the caps meet, posing on the stroll. Pops are really in there. That's the riff, that's the band all play. It's groovy, the hep cats say. Then you know that you're in Harlem.
This is Harlem. And that's a name that means ghetto, now as much as it did way back in the 30s and 40s. But look around, it hasn't changed too much. About the same, I'd say, as it was when I was here.
You want to go to happy Harlem, you take the A train that goes uptown and ride.
You a legend, you a legend. If you wasn't a legend, they wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here filming it. That's right. And a lot of people, our young people, they don't even understand.
But Kev, I was out in...
Okay, take it easy.
Yeah, but I was
How do you
in...
say that thing again? Hidey high.
Hidey ho.
Hidey ho. Hidey ho.
Hidey, hidey, high.
Hidey, 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 high.
Kev Calloway. Come on, take a trip with me up to Harlem. We can dig Minnie the Moocher. And many, many, many others.
Here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Hidey, 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 hide. Hidey, 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 hide. Whoa! Heedy, 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 she loved him, though he was cocky. He took her down to Chinatown. He showed her how to kick the gong around.
While I was still in school in Chicago, I had to get a job. I had to support myself at night. And my sister Blanche, who was in the business before me, got me a job in the Sunset Cafe, which was on 35th Street and Calumet in Chicago. It was quite a spot on the South Side. And lo and behold, who was working in this club in the band was Louis Armstrong. Armstrong was, he was the greatest. It's no way, you can't get around that anyway. I don't care how you try.
Just because my hair is curly, just because my teeth are pearly, oh, just because I always wear a smile, likes to dress up in the lady style, just because I'm glad I'm living, take all my troubles off with a smile, just because my color's shady, makes no difference, maybe. That's why they call me Shine.
He was one of the greatest musicians, singers, entertainers that I ever knew. And he had a great influence on me. Louis, when he and I become be pretty good buddies, you know, and he, every time he was off the bandstand, I was up there. So he left the Sunset from Chicago, went to New York. And I told him, I said, man, I said, I'm gonna dig you in New York pretty soon. And I was awful fortunate because at a later date, he made it possible for me to get in my first Broadway show. And I've always been grateful to him for what he did for me. I can remember back in the day when I first came to New York. I came there in an automobile via the Fort Lee Ferry, which lets us off right at 125th Street in Harlem. Of course, it's not there today, but the ferry doesn't run there today. Whether you arrived here by a nickel ride on the subway or by limo, you'll find yourself in a neighborhood where there's nothing but music and entertainment. The music of the place that was most noticeable. You know, at times it seemed like it was oozing up out of the pavements, and it was so wonderful. You could just hear it. Harlem was home to some 200,000 black Americans who had come here from the country areas in the deep South, coming here looking for a new life, looking for paradise, and very few found it. When I came into New York, I said, well, I know a fellow that has a room to rent. So I went directly to his house. I found out where it was. I went to the house of Fletcher Hennessy, who was one of the jazz greats. He was the father of it all. He was the one that started all of the jazz, all of the swing, and the swing arrangements, because he was a fantastic arranger. And I went to his house, rented, got a room. Now, of course, the rooms were expensive. And, of course, we entertainers, we could afford them. But a lot of people in Harlem couldn't afford their apartments and their rooms and their houses, and they had what we call house rent party. Now, they would invite their neighbors and people who are in show business, come to the apartment for food and drink. They'd pay for the food and pay for the drinks, and this is how they accumulate the money to pay for their rent.
I do what you do. When your landlord brings you down, you don't have to wear no frown. Jump and sing, go out and shake, say I do what you do.
Parties come and parties go. But I think Fats Waller can tell you and show you what real partying is.
My, oh, yes, my. They have a new expression along the Harlem way that tells you when a party is 10 times more than gay. To say that things are jumping leaves not a single doubt. Watch all these cats, watch everything when you hear somebody shout. This joint is jumping, really jumping. Come in, cats, and check your hands. I believe this joint is jumping. Piano's pumping, dancers are bumping. Every Moses on his toes, in fact, the joint is jumping. Check your weapons at the door, just pay a quarter. Burn your love around the floor, grab anybody's daughter. The roof is rocking, the neighbors are knocking, but we're all bums when the wagon comes. Let it leave, yeah, Santa Jack, turn it loose.
Give me the pony!
Get your big feet binge and that Fanny in the kitchen. What is that? They just walked in. Just look at the way it's switching. Oh, mercy. Don't mind now, because I'm in power. I got bail if we go to jail. I mean, this joint is jumping. Yeah. Up. Don't ever do the right name. No. Don't ever do that. I mean, this joint is jumping. Yeah.
The majority of the citizens were no wealthier than they are now. But a few did all right. You might have caught the glimpse of Joe Louis, or Father Divine, or Adam Clayton Powell Jr., or Bill Bojangles Robinson, or me. You know, there's a lot of cats that made it good here. You know, people like singers, musicians, songwriters. For us, Harlem was the capital of the world, and we loved it. A very dear friend of mine, E. Sims Campbell, who was an expert cartoonist, once drew a map that laid out all of the better-known hot spots in Harlem. There's the Radium Club, where they used to have those breakfast dances every Sunday morning. There's Tilly's Chicken Shack on 133rd Street. Now, she specialized in fried chicken, and man, it was really good. Lafayette Theater on 7th Avenue.